A community of highly skilled regular human beings that keeps on delivering everything that our wildest dreams could possibly want, day in and day out. And while my time is limited, I simply have to now and then show off some amazing mods that I had the honor of playing. Now, if these mods pique your interest and you don't know how to get them running, well, I have a tutorial for dummies linked down in the description and the pinned comment, so go check that out. Now, what is actually Doom? Doom is the first-person shooter game that gave birth to first-person shooter games as we know them today, created in 1993. What are actually Doom mods? Essentially, it's additions and tweaks to the existing base game. Created new, never-before-seen experiences, some even completely new and non-recognizable from the base game, often referred to as total conversion mods. And lastly, what the hell is GC Doom? In short, an improved version of the original engine that Doom was running on, now supporting modern machines and technologies. My son just laid down the biggest of farts that I've ever heard, and it almost scared the living crap out of me. Oh my god!
Ahoy, mateys! Let's sing about Pirate Doom 2. It's a mod that takes the classic Doom formula and throws it head first into the golden age of piracy. No, this isn't some half-baked, tacky theme park ride. It's a full-blown, swashbuckling, crazy adventure that manages to be both a love letter to Doom and Monkey Island alike.
Now, before we dive into this mod, let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, I just sang. It was awful. Let's pretend like it never happened, okay? Now let's dive in. So what is it that makes Pirate Doom 2 stand out? Well, actually quite a lot of things. One of which is how it leverages the GC Doom engine to create a world that feels alive, vibrant, and distinctly piratey. The sprite-based graphics and vibrant color palette give it this nostalgic, almost painterly quality that harkens back to classic adventure games like Monkey Island. Whether intentional or not, the mod nails that balance of whimsy and grit, and it's impossible not to appreciate the effort that went into it. Now my broskis, Pirate Doom 2 is a 32 level megawad that starts off deceptively simple. The early levels eases you into the Doom formula while introducing the mod's unique twists like the pirate themed weapons, enemies and environments. But don't let the gentle start fool you. As you progress, the difficulty ramps up in a way that feels deliberate and well-paced, but will definitely start challenge you both in terms of navigation and combat. The level design is a mix of tight, focused maps and sprawling, labyrinthine challenges. Sure, some of the larger levels, they can feel a bit tedious, especially when you're hunting for those colored keys and you can't really navigate the map. Classic Doom stuff, right? But the mod, it balances this with a clever flow of difficulty. One moment you're fighting for your life against a horde of tougher enemies, and the next you're carving through weaker foes like a hot sword through butter. It's this balance that actually keeps the gameplay feeling rewarding. And then comes the environmental and biome variety, from sun-soaked beaches and creaking pirate ships to ominous castles and magical ice caves. Pirate Doom 2 takes you on a visual tour de force. However, the core objective remains the same: find keys, progress, and survive. But the environment, hazards, and bosses, well, they keep things fresh for some time at least. There's even some light platforming thrown in, which, let's be honest, is always a risky move in a Doom mod, but seeing as it is simply light platforming, it works well in this instance. Let's leave no one behind, you know? We gotta kill all of them. Gotta kill all of them. But I can't help but feel like the mod would have benefited quite a lot from shortening its length. I know the 32 maps is some form of Doom megawad standard, and I don't know the technicalities behind it. But eventually it does start feeling dragged out. I mean, like, you have seen the weapons, you have seen the enemies, you kind of understand the level design and layout. It just feels like the mod should have ended some time ago, and it doesn't necessarily have to be 32 levels. Why? Why is there a rule of 32 levels? I don't freaking understand. Can someone please explain that to me in the comments? I read it so many times from modders. I just wanted to finish this mod now, so I rushed it in the end. I read that all the time. Why does it have to be 32 levels? This mod, including so many other mods, would have benefited a lot from being shorter. I mean, hell, cut this mod in half. Make it Pirate Doom 2, and then the second half you have the levels ready. Start working on some new enemies, some new weapons. Voila, you have Pirate Doom 3. They are definitely not afraid of throwing enemies your way. Now the enemies, they are your standard Doom fare, imps, demons and the like, but with a pirate twist. Picture an imp wearing a tiny pirate hat, complete with a parrot on its shoulder and an eye patch. It's equal parts hilarious and oddly endearing. I mean, who wouldn't want a plushie of a pirate imp? It's the kind of absurd detail that makes this mod so memorable and cutesy. But if you play the first mod, you will recognize a lot of the enemies, just reskin. Look at that pinky with the freaking pipe. I love them. I love how stupid they look. Absolutely freaking mad in love with it. Now, onto the weapons. You've got your trusty cutlass for melee combat, flintlock pistol, and even a blunderbuss that feels satisfyingly powerful. Each weapon fits the pirate theme perfectly, and they're balanced in a way that makes combat feel fun and fairly challenging. I'm glad we saved it. Okay. Yeah, the blunderbuss officially shreds. And the arenas and the enemy placement and overall level design helps a lot in the combat feeling fun and engaging as well. But here's the thing, guys. Pirate Doom 2 isn't just a good Doom mod, it's a freaking great pirate game in its own right. It's clear that the developers poured a lot of love and creativity into this project, and it shows in every detail. Whether you're a Doom veteran or a newcomer looking for something fresh, this mod is an absolute freaking blast. Broski, just a quick reminder, if you're liking what you're seeing so far, hit the like and join the Discord. And if you want to support me on this journey and, you know, support whatever it is I'm doing here, become a member. It's the only way for me to actually earn any buckaroonies doing this. Or send a super chat or whatever, something YouTube related. I don't have a Patreon, I don't have any sponsors, etc, yada yada yada. Caramella Cololia? I cannot pronounce that. Oh, fucking hell! Okay. That just scared the absolute mother freaking living crap out of me. Holy macaroni balls and shit balls. Paramelancholia, a mod that both made my adrenaline pump and my pants go from jeans blue to poop brown. A slower paced mod that wants you to suck in its atmosphere from your nose. While cheesing with your eyes because you don't know what enemy is lurking behind the next corner. Mother crackadoodle. Man, why do I scare so easily? It's a mod that started out as a literally art project divided into multiple short stories. The developer decided it was deserving of something visual and hence started developing it in GC Doom. And for a first-time developer, this right here is rather impressive. But first things first, the story.
Flooding detected in sectors, maintenance, listening, and power generation.
While Paramelancholia isn't strictly about any single story, but a thing of its own, it nevertheless brings them all together and is situated in universe. In a sense, it's an amalgamation of several timelines, joining them thematically into a small island where both scientific and artistic curiosity has taken man a bit too far. Stuck between celestial might of the heavens and primordial forces of the earth, the protagonist has no other choice but to descend deep into the spiraling tunnels, guided only by vague instructions of needing to find the missing observation team. Surface and central diagnostics. We need a golden key for that. While there are no cutscenes or straightforward way to follow along with this rather complex story, there are bits and pieces of lore to collect. But it's up to you to puzzle the pieces together. And this is where I fall flat with the story. Not only did I most likely miss a lot of the lore pieces, but I also like a powerful introduction that makes me want to know more. Simply throwing the player in and letting me know that I have to find a missing team isn't enough to engage me. What I'm saying is that I didn't pay all that much attention to the story, which thinking about it now is kind of a shame. The world building simply reeks of atmosphere and mysteries to be uncovered, but the game didn't really give me what I needed to find all of it interesting enough to uncover it all. Luckily, the game isn't all about story, there is still some fun to be had here, even though it feels like it's meant to take a pretty damn big role in this mod. So as we start the game, we're slowly introduced to how puzzling of the game works, often consisting of finding fairly well hidden switches to unlock this or that door, and once that is done, the first weapon is bestowed upon us. An axe. Screw that, let's let's cut to the revolver. Ah, much better. And what's really cool about this mod is the semi-take on realism, meaning since it is a revolver, you have to cook it before you're able to fire a shot, making it extra intense in a heated situation. What, I have to reload after every shot? What the hell is going on? Oh, I have to cook it after. Okay, that's cool. Now, did I tell you that this is a scary game? And thinking now that we got some weapons, so the intensity kind of wears off a bit, but nah, it does not. Mother crackadoodle. The mod is rocking the Doom 3 flashlight. You can choose to either equip that or a weapon, not both at the same time. Yet again, making heated situations extra intense, as the enemies lurking in the dark will almost always take you by surprise, as you have to switch to your weapon before you're able to fire at them. Oh, I hate that so much, but it does fit very well into this game. There is no denying that. But I can't shake the feeling of certain unfair enemy placements. I buy getting surprised at times with an enemy behind a corner, but the enemies usually notices you before you notice them. And overusing that, which the mod kinda does at times, make it lose its effect and become more frustrating than scary in the end. Yeah, I'm about to die. Okay. So as we progress further and uncover secrets eventually, new items and weapons unlock. Some hidden behind very well hidden secrets, but will prove to be mighty useful in the game. Like this one right here. Just die. No, okay, don't. I didn't want to waste a shot on you, but okay, I'm gonna waste a shot on you. Don't worry. Without them, the game is on the very hard side of mods, very survival horror-esque, but comparing it to say a game like Resident Evil, then Resident Evil is a freaking cakewalk compared to this. So exploring is a big part and more or less essential for your survival and progress, which at times becomes both the game's upside and downside. Some earlier levels are extremely hard to navigate and lacks proper visual guidance, making you run back and forth. And while at other times, it leads you in a direction where you feel like you might have strayed off, but end up in a secret or an actual right path, one of which is frustrating and the other gives a sense of reward. I would say that we did alright. Now overall, Paramelancholia is a really cool mod that reeks of a dark atmosphere and mystery. It offers a cool but very unforgiving challenge at times, with levels that will both test you and your navigational puzzle solving skills, as well as the capabilities of the GC Doom engine, with some extremely cool and satisfying effects here and there. But it's also very clear that the later levels are more well crafted than the early ones. The more of the mod that was developed, the more skill and knowledge the developer gained. It's a very common thing amongst mods and indie games, but also very clear here. A little tip is that sometimes starting development with the last level and ending with the first isn't all that bad of an idea. It will give the player the best first impression that they can possibly have, and that's one of the most important things to consider when developing a game or a mod. I saw your little butthole. I saw your butthole. Now broskis, for more brutal mods and brutal indie games, remember to hit that subscribe. And if you like what you saw today, hit that like as well on the video. And I will see you in the next one.